Everybody, my name is Ben. This is Zone Talk from Zone9 Studio. We're a content creation company helping clients creating photographies and videographies for their online or offline marketing. So today we're here with one of our clients, Ken Tai, and he's from Tai Architect. And please introduce yourself a little bit.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm Ken Tai from Tai Architect. I'm a licensed architect in Ontario. So I'm doing architectural jobs for sure, and I'm doing focus on residentials and commercials, small to medium size. Yeah.
And so what's the biggest challenge under the lockdown?
The biggest challenge of the lockdown for me is the city actually closed off. All my clients, well, it's the springtime, so they want to get the permits out and they can start the constructions. Unfortunately, everything I prepare and ready for submissions, but because of the city lockdown, well, not lockdown, but the city is actually closed. The department closed, so nobody reviewing and issuing a permit. So that I think that is the major challenge. Not talking about beside I'm working with the kids. That's one thing too.
Of course. And so are you on the essential? How does the essential list affects you in any way?
This is an interesting question. Construction, some construction is essential. I'm stuck in between essentials and not. I'm not doing anything medical or related, but if any residential projects that's actually start the construction before April 4th, the contractor and the construction can continue, which means if all the jobs that I did before and got the permit, I still need to go to the site and review their productions and construction stage. For everything after April 4th, no constructions. Technically, I'm not an essentialist. It doesn't stop me to working from home because my office is actually at home, so I only have one person, and it's only me working. So I'm still functioning as the same as before.
So as an architect, it is a lot of creative process when you come in and design a building. Like, what's your creative process?
The creative right now, I can say that most of my the creativities is actually bound by the building code and zoning bylaws and all the different bylaws from the municipal or restrictions. I think a lot of there's different architects doing even more. I would say it's out of the boundary. My practice is more about practical. I like to find out what is my boundary first, and then I work within the boundary. If I need to break through those boundary, I need to. I will focus on that too. So my creativity is actually is like I think more close to problem solving. My customer, my clients, when they come to me, they always has a thought or they have something in their mind. Right now, the internet generations, people, they all find something what they want in the website in the internet. So they have all the expectations. I think from the last couple of years, I feel like I'm more about the mentor to telling to help my client become an architect or designer. So I will using my experience and my knowledge about code and I guide them through what they really can do or not. So that is, I think this is interesting. I'm not just an architect.
It is.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a teacher or architect, or I'm advisor, consultants, and so that is a lot of things happen.
Many times we have to wear different hats to do different jobs,
Yeah.
but and I know that when it comes to working on a project, being an architect, you work with a lot of different people, right? You work with a team. Not even after the design phase is finished, you have to oversee all that part. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Architectural industry is a big industry. So we have a lot of people involved in the team. Architect is one of the um, uh, I should say the member or a role. We have right now we it's easy to understand, like interior designer, we have engineers, and that I always work with, so I can explain a little bit in detail. So usually when this project starts, we need a different we need a planning consultants, which is involved like surveyor. They survey the whole property. They give us all the data, existing data they want. And also we sometimes we work with arborists, so because there's a trees that is some planting we need to preserve, and we need to identify what is it. So we work with we call the pre-planning consultants. So surveyor, arborist, and site servicing engineer, how to prepare the site. And then when we go to a design role, I will always work with interior designer, myself, architects. We both work together. I mainly focus on the space design, the building shape, the form, how to work with the site, how to work with the zoning bylaw and stuff like that, and the design of the exterior, uh, planning of the floor plan. How, let's say for a house, residential house,
Yeah.
I would focus on like how all those spacing work, like different rooms, how the living rooms, those layouts work. And then I will pass the projects to the interior designer. They will work with the finish, colors, the scheme that the client will like.
Mm-hmm.
Once those design is actually solid, I will work with engineers. So that's different engineers I need to work with for house. That, for example, we will have a structural engineer, and we have I call HVAC engineer, which is the mechanical engineer. And sometimes well, most of the time commercial projects will also work with electrical engineers to tidy up all the electrical stuff. So mainly there's three engineers, structure, mechanical, electrical, work as a team. So we prepare the whole package for permits applications and also for
You
construction work.
a lead to oversee of all of these individuals.
Architects roles, most of the time we are like the lead. I use the word leader. We're coordinator. I think that's the better word. So we are the main coordinator. So we have our design, and then we get all the different contributions, like engineers comes in, and then I will overlook again, see anything conflict or not, and if that's this conflict or anything we need to change, or the structure engineer has something concerned and I need to revise my design, and then I go back to the team. And when everything come back, all the drawings and design is synchronized, and then we put in the building permit, and also, well, for construction.
Okay. And as moving on with your design and your team, can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit more about your creative philosophy? I know sometimes it's a little bit hard for you to create within the bylaws, but I mean, as you have to have more like all side of the box thinking.
Yeah, well, I say a little bit before. My design philosophy is really practical. More functionality. I think that's my my goal right now. I think every architect's at the beginning, when you start graduated from the schools, you have all the big ideas. I want to do something artistically, or a more, I should say, funky design, or a simple design, or something that really award-winning design. Okay, when I think I to this year is actually my 18 years of architectural life. I graduated in 2002, and I got my license after 10 years, and now I become my own. I find out that well, you start to realize, find yourself this more. I understand more about myself is more about a practical person. So I would I my design always think about how it's actually the human use the space, or how the
Example?
sorry.
Can you give an example about practicality?
Let's say design a house. So I always think about the house, the layout, how let's say how the people using it. For example, right now there's a lot of trends. The kitchen design, they all in one line and have an island on the back,
Yeah,
and this is a trend. It look nice, and it's more simple and elegant, right?
it's
But
practical, right?
in practical way, is technically is this is not the way. The linear kitchen is not working.
No?
Because you want to cook, and there's a fridge, and also there's a sink. So that's we always in the practical design, they always form triangles.
Okay.
So if it, so in my philosophy is I always think like something like that. I want my clients use the space is
Mm-hmm.
practical. So for example, this kitchen design, I would like to enjoy to have linear, nice, because I think because of the space consumption, right? But at the same time, how can I have something that I can still achieve the practical use? So when the cook, your sink, and the fridge, those relationship is actually form the right space. So when the housewife or the people who using the kitchen is actually use it properly. So and something like that. And so this is a house. So if I design something um, for commercials, even more related to practical, especially when we bounded by a lot of because of the code or safety
Okay.
issues, exit, fire thing, the fire protection. Those are really my major considerations
Oh,
most of the time.
so can you tell us that what is the past project they are most proud of?
Okay, yeah. I for let's say a house. I did a house in Markham. It's now is under constructions.
Mhm.
The challenge of the house is the clients come to me. She's a rich woman. She want to invest in Markham, but her whole mindset is she live in Florida. She won the Florida house and put it in Markham,
Okay.
and this practically is not working because Markham, the I think that the space, the density of the people and the lifestyles and the weather is totally different. So she gave me the design of the Florida house, and I my creativity is how can I meet her expectations, look like a Florida house, but I can put it in the context of the Canadian weather and in the Markham, Ontario situation. So I actually managed to have this house with that kind of design context. That's what she want, and then put it in there. Another challenge of that project is she won a really she won the 4,000 square feet or even more house in Markham. In that particular site, the zoning bylaw is not allowed, so we need to go through minor variance to ask for it. Interesting that the whole area of that neighborhoods, they don't like large house. They don't want monster house, 2-story or look like a 3-story. So there's like right in front of your eyes. So then I tuned my design, so I still get 4,000 square feet more, and but I make the house look smaller in the front. Everything gradually go higher in the back. So in the neighborhood matching the streetscapes, that's actually look like a 1-story house and match the neighborhoods. At the end, even the counselor of that area, she is praising it, and she is supporting the design. Even she never support a big house like a 4,000 house in the area. So at the end, we got the variance. We get the bigger house, and the design is actually match the neighborhoods. So that, I think that is one of the I think great success that I actually do. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Like to be able to get the approval from the city council, and that's excellent. And so, on the case of success, you want to talk about your mistake?
I always love to talk about my mistake. I always mention to you, Ben, that I should have a YouTube channel. This the failure of architects. I think in architectural industry, construction industry, I think we never perfect. We admit that if everyone telling you that I'm a perfect guy, and a contractor telling you I'm doing everything correctly, that's impossible. It's because we involve so many things. You mentioned that we have so many engineer or team members, so many people is coming in. Even we say we coordinate everything, it always have problems. In construction, there's always a site issue, so that's always coordinations and issues. And also building code is one of the big things. Okay. I was telling you, like I'm reading the building code for 20 years, and am I mastering it? Sometimes I would say I'm mastering it. Sometimes I say, oh my God, I make a mistake again. The reason is the way they try to write it. They try to, it's like a lawyer, try to write it so complicated, and it dimmed to interpretations. For big projects, people's always hire a co-consultants, and for small projects, like for us, we're doing small to medium size, the clients never have that kind of privilege or money to get a co-consultants. So we will keep overlooking the code. So I share you one of the mistake that I currently made. It's so funny. I'm working on industrial building. The industrial building is it's a power plant. Okay. Okay. And so you see the building is big. Okay. It's over 30,000 square feet. So it's really big industrial building. The scope of work is not big because the existing building, I only I'm doing renovation for the office area. Really small. I think it's about 2,000 square feet, 2-story. Small area, but there's a big building. So what did I do wrong? Okay, the thing is, every building you need 2 exits. especially big building, more than two. So if you're so big, you need a multiple building. So in minimum, we need to have two exits. So that's my concept. So when I design, doing the renovation, I provide two exits. This particular office, they have existing a mezzanine area, and they only have one exit. And when a client approached me, they want to change it into a second story, like using the space. So the mezzanine become a second floor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then in that case, my mind said, okay, you have to have 2 story. I need to create that. And I actually create exterior stairs exit for them. But the thing is, it's the fun fact is I got the permits, and it's not only me making mistakes, even the examiner making mistakes. I have one exit to the outside, and then another exit is going, we call exit through lobby. It's more technical. So another exit, we're going inside and get out. Okay.
Yeah.
But technically, it's not allowed, because beside that office is an industrial building. So in technical term, we cannot have this exit through lobby if that is access to the industrial building. So, oh man, oh my God, so we all make those mistakes. And so it's
So
speechless sometimes. But at the end, you know what? I've mistakes. It's actually create another chance, because when I look at the building code again, actually I only need one exit because of the space is so small and it's all fire rated. So at the end, I get chance to talk to examiner, provide different approach and solution. So we actually settle down with one exit, and actually the construction is actually cheaper, and at the end the problem is solved.
yeah, so it's actually creative problem solving.
Yeah, it's like all the time. And
Yeah, you gotta come up with creative ideas to solve a problem. It's
exactly, yeah.
I know it is. And how can you help the clients during the lockdown, since you can't go on location or on site?
Hold on a second, let me just turn off the okay, that's good. I just turn off the sound to make sure you take
Okay.
this away. Yeah. How to help my clients. Okay. um in this stage, the cities is closed off. So in that part, I can't really do anything. So it means anything up to the building permit applications, I cannot. It's not up to me to say that they will work again or not. Okay. But in the meantime, I'm still getting in touch with my clients. Architecture industry is like this. We have different stage of the project. So uh, although we're going to stop in the building permit stage, our applications that stage, we still have a lot of things we need to prepare. Let's say if we start a project right now, I need to, well, for sure, I need to design it, I need to document it, and I need to coordinate with all the consultants. So if let's say I have a survey in front of me, I can start designing because I got the footprint of the house. Mm-hmm. And then I can actually prepare all the design, and I can still doing the zoning review and analysis, and all these things is still we can still ongoing doing it. We can still work with the engineer to do all the technical stuff to prepare the building permit drawings.
Yeah.
The only thing is we stop is we cannot apply it, or we applied it, they're not accepting it. So only Markham is working. Okay, so they actually work. They're really working really hard.
If everything start up again, so there will be a flood of submissions. Then would there be?
Yeah, some projects we will have. Let's say some project we need the minor variants or cycling control application. Those actually will stop also because that's involve the city. But there's a lot of procedures before each stage. We can do something, prepare the application. So once the pandemic is actually situation under control, the city start working, we can be ready and put in the door, and so we don't have to wait until they open. So and then we start the design work. So at this time, most of the time I will focus on the design and the pre-design stage. So I help my client to prepare what's coming, and yeah, that's
I would expect it will be a huge backlog of all the permits that needs to be issued when this is over.
it. Yeah, it will be. It will be.
It's
Yes.
better
Yeah.
to prepare all your everything ready when the time comes and just apply right away.
Correct. For now, so if we prepare right now, at least we're in the line. So let's say Toronto, if you want a permit, I can still electronically submit the building permit. The only thing is they will bounce back the email saying that I'm not process anything. They will not accept the money.
Okay.
But the lineup is still there. So they said it's actually under the, yeah, we're in the line, in the queue. Yeah.
Yeah, so yours guys still in queue, so you don't lose your place. So it's
Yeah.
be prepared now, then wait until the quarantine is lifted, and then that you will be way behind the line.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think that's all the question today. And before we go, can you tell us what will be your Netflix recommendation for everybody?
Netflix. I haven't watched movie for a long time. I these days I watch a lot of you know what Netflix I'm watching is all the cartoons with the kids. Oh man, I don't want to recommend all these. It's driving me crazy, and I don't want anyone crazy about it. Um, um, hmm,
What's the
let
last thing?
me think. What is the last thing I saw? The last thing I saw, Netflix. I saw The Witcher. The Witcher is amazing. Okay, it's a Netflix original. It's not new. I think it's already 2 or 3 months. It's from the books and from the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's act out only. Okay, don't watch with the kids. Okay.
Yes, of course. Yes. Rated R.
Yep.
Thank you for coming with us today, and we hope to see you again in the future. And hopefully, this will go down. Everything will go back to normal. All right.
Hey, thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Okay.